Hello, hello, welcome. Sounds like Frank Walker from National Tiles.
Yeah.
People overseas won't get that joke. That we have a guy that does ads on the radio in Australia that goes hello, like he does it on purpose. It's one of the funny things in ads, and I've noticed this where being annoying works as a type of advertising style. Do you know what I mean? Like where they do a really bad song or something that's really...
Like a jingle.
Yeah, like there's one I was listening to, there's like, Friday night footy, you're a goal-kicking, good-looking goodie.
Yeah.
And it's just like really annoying, doesn't make sense, and it's shot really badly, but it's just done enough annoyingly to make it stick in your fucking head.
Yeah. It's like they've got scientists or something.
Yeah.
They're like, if you're this annoying. It's like the Rugs a Million guy. The Rugs a Million guy was iconic because of
how annoying.
Yeah.
I love the Rugs a Million strategy.
Yeah.
For those listening that don't know what we're talking about, there is a series of ads where the guy goes, hello, it's Rugs a Million. Please help me. I bought too many rugs. I bought too many. Like he's kind of manic. And he's going, I bought too many. They've got to go or I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like we bought way too many rugs. I've got to get rid of them now.
Yeah.
Or like my wife's leaving me. Like he kind of gets crazy.
It gets personal.
Yeah, he does.
She's taking the kids.
It's
yeah. Like there's weird details.
She's taking the kids. She's taking the kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can hear the wind blowing in the camera because he's kind of running. Like,
yeah, it's Persian. It's Persian. Take it.
Yeah,
I think he paid you to get the rugs. Like you got
paid.
paid.
Yeah. There's a weird tax thing. I'll pay you.
Yeah. He's like, we pay you $20.
There's a guy who wants my organs.
Yeah.
Some guys try to take it.
They're trying to harvest my organs. Take the rugs. The Falun Gong people are taking my organs.
There's a Persian guy who wants my organs. He says he's going to take them if I don't pay back. Fucking take it. The Persians want my organs. That's a weird
Just trading my liver for a Persian rug. Just really bizarre.
Yeah.
It's on the black market. My spleen is on the black market.
My spleen's on the black market. 20% off.
Bosnian warlord's got my spleen. Buy a rug, please. Wife's got the kids. They were really weird ads.
The thing is, like, to clarify for the listeners, there was his strategy was, and these ads were common when we were growing up. It's called Rugs a Million, and the strategy was, I'm desperate. I'm a bad business person. I've made critical errors with stock. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on, but if I don't get rid of these rugs by the end of the week, I'm going to be bankrupt and it'll ruin my life. I mean, that's not an exaggeration. He'd be literally like, if we don't get rid of these rugs by the end of the week, we're done.
Yeah.
Please help me.
Yeah, it was... I feel like David Lynch would have cast him in a movie or something. Because the desperation was so...
Right, yeah.
It was like the platonic
ideal. You think
ideal.
he could have, Scorsese might have used him in...
Just as a side
gangster.
character.
Yeah. There's always a desperate gangster who gets killed really quickly.
Yeah.
He's too desperate. Come on, guys. You said you'd give me the money. I need it.
They're like, shut up.
Shut up, you punk.
Yeah.
You gaboozy.
Oh.
Whatever that means. But yeah, he would, and you know what? It kind of works.
Yeah.
It kind of works. Because you're like, this dude, like his strategy is basically, and it's a pretty unusual, I'm bad at business. Like, I'm bad at business. Take advantage of me.
Yeah, it is weird.
But that is it in essence, though.
Well, he can't order it. He orders too many.
Like
I think he's like, I'm too optimistic on the front end, and then I overstock. It's like, this seems like a problem's been happening for a number of years.
Yeah.
Like, you keep ordering in so many.
Yeah. That was it, but that's not an exaggeration. He literally says that in the ad.
They must go.
Yeah,
they must.
This is what he says. I remember it. I saw the ad every day when I was a kid. I've ordered too many. The stock's piling up. I can't pay the warehouse rent. It's got to go or I'm done. He wouldn't say I'm done, but it's like, it's got to go. But it was insinuated because he's kind of running through the warehouse and there's people in the background.
I like the idea of him just in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many rugs, like looking around.
They're filming the ads and he's dealing with the mistake.
Yeah.
On camera. I fucking look around. Look at this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm paying rent for this. And if it doesn't go, I can't. We're done.
It was existential.
Yeah. I can't, like, you just don't see it anymore.
No.
Because free to air is dead.
Yeah.
You don't see those kinds of ads. Like, no. I would like to see Apple.
Yeah. What,
we made too many.
Like an Apple TV?
No, I mean like Apple, the corporation.
Oh, okay.
We made too many iPhones. Fuck.
Yeah.
The Chinese government's doing an audit. The Chinese government's doing an audit.
So it's just business. Tim Cook?
Yeah.
It's like they're ordering the thing. People are buying Samsungs. People are going back to Blackberries.
There's too many competitors. Fuck.
My husband's going to take the kids.
We'll give you half free.
Yeah.
Free. We take them. Please. We've got a giant campus.
Yeah.
A giant campus to we got to pay. Look around. There's just like people like with
comes
coffees.
with a ping pong table.
People with coffees in a Silicon Valley Apple.
Yeah.
Walking around in the background. He's like, stock prices are plummeting. Please buy the new Apple iPhone.
Yeah.
It's got a better camera.
Yeah, just desperation.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like Apple and then there's nothing.
Yeah, it's like Apple and there's like a Muslim woman. Because, they always try and make them as diverse as possible.
Yeah.
It's like a Muslim woman talking to an African dude or whatever. And it's like Apple. And then it's like he drinks a coffee and sort of looks at her and... You know what I mean? It's like quite...
Strange. Yeah, it's just it's like the ads they play on the Emirates flight.
Right. Yeah.
Like it'll be like a sultan from Dubai on a magic carpet sending an email. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. You're like, what's happening?
Yeah. Well, that's the other form.
Yeah.
The other form, the new form of advertising isn't desperate. It's almost the opposite. It's like we won't
this.
Yeah, we won't even tell you what we sell.
Yeah.
That's how confident we are.
Yeah, that's like the golfers where their sponsors will be like a private jet company.
Right, yeah.
On the thing.
Right.
It's like, don't even try. Like,
yeah, it's like you can't find us.
That's one of the companies it's like an Uber pool for private jets. So you just get two friends and go like split a private jet
to Dubai or whatever.
So that'll be on like Tiger Woods jersey.
Right.
Instead of like the 4 and 20 meat pie on
a
rugby
league.
Yeah. It's like anyone can get this.
Yeah. But the private jet company's like, slogans like, don't bother.
That'll be the next. Yeah, it'll just be like, don't try to get this.
Do you think? You have to be in a pedophile ring.
That's the only way you can get
like
on these
that
jets.
level of yeah.
You've got to be at the absolute pinnacle.
Like ruling elite.
Yeah,
like you're drinking blood out of a goat's skull.
You've got to be a shape-shifting.
Yeah,
like you've got to be like
one of the reptilian.
You've got to be like that pile of sludge in Terminator that can morph into anything. That's the only way you're getting on this private jet is if you're that pile of metallic sludge that can like morph into like a cop or like a tech startup, like just morph into like a truck. That's the only way you're getting on this private jet.
That's their customer base, you think?
Yeah.
So in this reality, the people are so rich that they're the alien overlords. Is that kind of what you're saying?
So rich that they're amorphous, shape-shifting sludge that can take on the form of any body that it chooses to.
The reason I like this so much is because that's so telling about what you think of rich people.
Yeah.
Just that they're so out of reach. Like it does feel like that, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a level of rich, as you would describe it, as an amorphous moving blob.
Yeah, they just take the body of Epstein.
Right.
For a brief period.
Right. I'm pretty sure what you're saying right now is a popular conspiracy theory.
The amorphous sludge theory.
I don't know if it's called that.
Yeah.
But isn't there like isn't that the people that the reptilians? Like isn't that the name of the theory where that the reptilians
they're shape-shifting
reptiles?
I didn't know if I've only seen the Terminator, like that bit. You know the bit where the
Terminator's a metallic blob?
Yeah, like the next generation up from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
like it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Terminator's like the older model of rich person.
Right.
just shooting people and terminating them.
Mm-hmm. But the new one can shift into anything.
Yeah.
And you're
get
saying that
private jets to Bahamas.
because that's what the rich people would be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to be in the sky.
But that is also a conspiracy theory
Yeah.
of the ruling elite are shape-shifting lizards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's one of the oldest ones in the book.
That goes back a while to the Jurassic era.
That's a classic.
Well, that's when lizards ruled the world for real.
Right.
Jurassic Park.
New conspiracy theory.
They did rule.
They did rule. Then the asteroid, some of them kept going.
Yeah.
And like it became lizard humans that couldn't reveal themselves for some reason.
Yeah. Like the T-Rex was the lizard controlling the planet.
That was a lizard controlling the planet and somehow continued to do so secretly.
Yeah. It's like when the mosquitoes in the amber.
Right.
Somehow the DNA got out or something. I don't know.
Man, we really... Yeah.
But yeah, free-to-air TV is dead.
It is dead.
Like, no one is watching free-to-air TV live. Like, no one's just turning on free-to-air TV at this point. I think if you decapitated the host of Sunrise and the cameraman didn't call the cops, you could keep it a secret.
Because no one would notice.
Yeah, for a while.
40 minutes.
Yeah, you could just have the headless corpse in the suit.
So I'm just trying to clarify for the listeners. So you're saying that if you hypothetically, walked onto the set of Sunrise, you got through security despite how you look and act.
Yeah.
And you had a samurai sword.
Yeah.
There's a nice little dig in the way in.
Yeah.
You're like, thanks, man.
Yeah. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you walk in, and then you walked on the set, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And you cut off the head of the host.
Yeah.
And you'd paid off the camera crew and the producers.
Yeah.
It's still going out live.
Yeah.
That you reckon no one would notice the host of Sunrise, Australia's most popular morning show, had been decapitated. You're saying no one would notice?
Oh, there'd be one mentally ill dude at home watching it, and no one would believe him. Because he'd be so mentally ill, they'd be like, what? He's like, yeah, I was watching it, and then they cut his head off. It's like, we're going to have to up your medication.
Yeah, because the cops are like, this guy's on file. He was getting his dick out at traffic lights.
Yeah, no one else can corroborate this story.
Yeah, because he's also the trench coat dick flasher. You know, every town has one.
I was watching Becca, and then they cut a dude's head off. And it's like, no, that's not.
We don't believe you. Yeah.
No one's watching Seven Mate right now.
Yeah, we've got the stats.
Yeah.
No, I swear they cut the morning show host's head off.
You know those channels like 7 Mate and 10 Peach and whatever? Like you could literally just flash a beheading video.
Right.
And like no one
would notice. Yeah.
You could probably play it for like
How
an hour.
long you reckon? You reckon an hour? I reckon about 35 minutes because the CEO probably checks in every 35 minutes.
So it's only the people that run it are checking on it now.
Yeah, they're the actual viewership.
Yeah. The viewer is the person filming it. The viewer of free to air is the person filming it live.
Yep. Yeah. No, it is. But I guess it's fascinating to see free to air TV die, because we grew up watching it. It just seemed TV was just this megalith.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously TV's not dead. It's just changed. People stream, people TikTok, people have Apple TV, Netflix,
Yeah.
So that's TV now. But the free-to-air TV, and whatever the equivalent is in whatever country you're listening to this in, America, UK, they must have the equivalent, right? Where they can... Because it's actually hard to even get free-to-air TV now without using an app.
No, when you try to watch State of Origin, there's like admin now.
Right,
like you got to find a 9 account. Like you're using an app to watch.
Yeah.
Like there's more roadblocks to watching free to air than there is to streaming.
Yeah, there is. Because like the antennas and shit are gone.
Yeah.
But when you watch it, it's like, it is alien-like.
Watching free to air now is like, it's the closest you can get to being in a haunted house.
Right.
It's like the channels are haunted. Like there's channels where it's just one show over and over again. There's like a Becca channel.
Right.
Like if an alien
Friends.
came down, they'd be like, why do people watch Becca with the sound off?
Right.
It's just in gyms and...
Right. Because the people watching it are alone, walking around the house, confused, dangerously mentally ill.
Yeah.
And they're using free-to-air as a background image to their spiraling mental crisis.
Yeah.
They're the only people tuning in.
Well, because like there's one that's like Big Bang Theory. It's just on all day on one of the channels.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Like there's like one that just plays Dawson's Creek all day on my TV. It's insane.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess see what you mean by haunted. Now it's like these nostalgic post old shows that we loved watching and grew up. So they're sort of you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's a nostalgia,
and then it's just weirdly playing on a channel all day in a weird resolution and a weird colors, and it's just strange, isn't it?
And it reminds me, it's like if Becca was the TV show, it's like it was a parasite that took over the channel.
Right.
It's like it took over the host channel.
Right. So you're saying like the TV show feels like it's actually like a virus.
Yeah. Like it's just spun off. Like I don't even think there's anyone in charge of the Becca channel. I reckon it's just Becca just playing without any oversight.
So Becca's the show.
Yeah.
Because I vaguely remember Becca.
Or like the Big Bang Theory.
The Big Bang
it doesn't
Theory.
matter. Big Bang Theory is just playing all day.
So it's like the Big Bang Theory was on, and then it just sort of took over and consumed the thing like a virus. So now it's the only thing that's playing.
That's the only. I reckon there'd be more people streaming the exact same episode of Big Bang Theory than actually watching the same episode on free to air. Like it's just that so few people are watching it live.
Right.
Like you're gonna watch Big Bang Theory on 7 Mate.
Well, like I said, I think it's for the only for the dangerously mentally ill.
Yeah.
If you're watching just Big Bang Theory all day and night
without streaming it.
And then what do you advertise to the dangerously mentally ill that will only watch one show for 24 hours?
Straight jackets on sale.
Discounted rugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rugs to roll up the body. Chuck it in the back of a boot. Yeah.
Have you ever auditioned for free-to-air TV ads? I have. You have.
I've auditioned to Hungry Jack's.
Have you really?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I auditioned for a Domino's ad once and they threw tomatoes at me because the flavour was meant to be hitting me.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Like you're in the stocks and the medieval thing?
Yeah.
Like just hit.
It's a postmodern version of that.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you want an ad, do you?
Yeah.
And the guy was a real camp casting director. He's like, just stay there. And he's like throwing tomatoes at my face.
Yeah.
The flavour's hitting you.
Yeah.
What you put yourself through and what we do, you know?
Unbelievable.
What was your Hungry Jack's ad one like?
Just you had to eat a Whopper and enjoy it. But I couldn't convey the necessary enjoyment.
You couldn't convey the emotion for the ad.
Couldn't convey the emotion. And it was cold too.
So they actually gave you a Whopper?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was cold.
Ugh.
And you're supposed to be like the platonic ideal of a Whopper in peak enjoyment.
Right.
But you're eating the worst Whopper on the planet.
Because it's just been sitting there.
Like even the vagrant down the road is like eating a better Whopper.
Yeah.
Because it's still warm.
Yeah, they try and give it to him at the end of the shoot and he's like, no thanks.
Yeah. But you're eating the coldest one and you're supposed to be like the emblematic face of the thing. So everyone in an ad is having the worst time with that product.
I remember a producer, like sometimes they do these cattle calls for stupid, like I was in my early 20s and they just, you know, you're like, oh, get an ad. Wow. Like you think that's a big deal when you're that age. And I remember the producer going, like it was for Subway. And she was like going around to people going like, okay, but, you know, not for the, you know, for the cameras or anything, but what is your favorite fast food?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And I was like, well, I don't know. Maybe McDonald's or something?
Yeah.
And she was sort of looked at me like, you fucking idiot. You meant to say Subway. Like it was this weird trick she was trying to get me to be genuine and be like, no. I actually love Subway and I can't wait to advertise for them. How nuts is that?
That's crazy because it gives you freedom to conform.
Yeah.
It's like, you choose, but it has to be Subway.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of something Stalin would do. Stalin would be like, what's the best system of government? You can say anything. And they're like, I think just democracy. It's like, you're supposed to say gulags and state totalitarianism. And it's like, fuck, I thought no, it's a trap. Then you just get carted away to a gulag.
Yeah, and then you get put in the gulag that you didn't want to be in.
It's like, how'd you get here? He just asked me which system was, I don't know. He said it was, you could choose.
Yeah, he was lying.
Yeah.
But you, famously, one of my favorite stories of yours.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about it a long, long time ago, years ago. But you landed an ad for RACQ, and for listeners, RACQ is the Australian road. Like, you can pay a fee,
Yeah.
and you get road service. So if your car breaks down,
they'll give you a new battery or whatever.
Yeah, if you needed a battery for your car, you pay for this road service, and they come out and get your car going on the side of the road. That's the RACQ, and the Victorian, there's a VACQ, like every state.
They
in
just
Australia,
substitute the last letter.
They substitute the last
Clever.
letter. Very clever.
Is this connected?
Yeah. So can you just tell that story? Because it's one of my favorite stories of yours ever.
I just got cast in an ad to be in an RACQ ad.
And so even from the beginning, why did they pick you? Did you send in a video? Is that?
Yeah, no, they were like, oh, I think they'd seen a set or something.
Right. So they'd seen some of your stand-up.
I think so, yeah. I don't know exactly.
And they wanted you to play what kind of role?
I had to play a kind of soul to the earth, ute driving tradie.
Right. So the soul of the earth, working class, working man, man's man.
Yeah, yeah. And then
that has kids.
Has kids in the back.
That has a kid in the back.
And is kind of just soul to the earth, like.
So let's just.
And then he's got his friend in the car too.
Right. So let's just go through that. So they saw your stand up.
Yeah.
Right. So just keep that in mind. And they thought, this guy with the glasses, the red hair, who's doing jokes almost exclusively about suicide.
Yeah.
We think that he could play an older, married, working class man's man who has kids and a friend in the car.
Yeah. So, I mean, right there, we've got 3 extra things I don't have. And like I didn't even have a license at that point.
Right. So you didn't have a license
because it was suspended from parking tickets or whatever. But
so you didn't have a license,
and I'm in a car that's a manual. I can't drive manual,
and you can't drive manuals, which is probably a bit of a character flaw for that character. Like, that character would be able to drive a manual.
I'm playing a character that can drive a manual.
Right. But
yeah.
But also, hadn't you also been banned from RACQ?
Yeah, because I'd called them out too many times to restart my 1987 Toyota Corolla. And I knew all the RACQ personnel.
Right.
Like, I knew the community. Like, they'd come out and they'd be like, you again, fuck. And they'd be like, I told you to get another battery. But you didn't listen. Like he'd actually.
He was saying it through gritted teeth.
Like he was weeping. It's like, I just told you to get it. Like, otherwise I've got to come out.
Right. So they come out so many times, RACQ, to fix it for free or whatever. Like, you'd sort of got a loophole because
it's unlimited, but there's a limit.
Right. So it's
not every day.
You paid enough monthly fee for them to come out, but your car was so fucked that they would come out repeatedly, and he was starting, like, they knew you.
I'm not someone who like goes to the root of a problem and fixes it. I play whack-a-mole with the symptoms, if that makes sense.
Right, Band-Aids, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I should have just get it fixed, but I'm like, I couldn't afford it.
Right.
You know, when you're broke, you just end up like playing whack-a-mole with symptoms of how broke you are?
Yes.
You're just like, duh, like you're at a county fair, like, I get it.
Yes.
But yeah.
And I do remember this car, and it used to go forwards in reverse.
Yeah, that was in its later stages. I remember going up a hill in reverse, like accelerating. But it was like a good party trick to show someone. Do you know what I mean? Like, you'd be like struggling on a hill, and you're like, check this out. You put it in reverse. They're like, no, don't. And like, accelerate, and you go up the hill. It's one of the weirdest kind of things that's kind of happened to me.
Right. Okay. So the car going forward in reverse. Yeah. That is fascinating.
Like, I mean, that's interesting.
I remember my car when I was around a similar age. It was the same thing. Broke, shitty hand-me-down car from my brother. And it caught on fire while I was driving. I burned out the clutch and the smoke coming out the back, and a guy drove past like, yeah, man, your car's on fire, bro.
Yeah.
And just driving down the street, no more gears. Anyway. Not as good as driving forward in reverse. So, to recap, They cast you a stand-up comedian who exclusively talks about his mental illness. That is the complete opposite in every single way of the character of a worker's man with a kid and a friend in a car that works. That's a manual.
Yeah.
Who probably has a driver's license and actual membership to RACQ.
Yeah.
Right. So you have
I didn't have the license.
Mhm.
Wasn't allowed to use the company I was going to be the spokesman for.
Right.
Don't have a kid. Don't have a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Can't drive a manual.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Gluten intolerant.
So then you turn up. So then you turn up to the set.
Yeah.
Right.
And then
So you turn up on the day.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a full film crew, everything.
Just a huge crew.
Okay.
And then I'm just sitting in
a proper ad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big budget.
Big production.
Yes.
And I'm just I'm wearing a flannelette shirt.
Because it's a major company.
I'm wearing like a flannelette shirt.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I've just fixed a gazebo or something.
Right. So you dressed up in character.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this huge ute.
Huge ute. Just the image of you trying to drive a utility is crazy to me. But
oh yeah, they were all. The funny thing is the ad was just all tradies were working on it.
Right, because they're like crew.
The crew, setting up the stuff. They were actually
They were the character that you were meant to be.
Yeah,
and they were looking at you like, "What the fuck is this dude?"
Yeah, I'm like doing bloke face in front of them.
Right.
Like, that's not what's he doing in there. Like,
yeah,
and they're yelling at me. Like, put it in neutral. I remember one of the guys was like, put it in neutral, and I'd put it in the wrong thing, and he'd be like, I told you to put it in neutral. Like I was like wearing him down
because you never used a manual before, so you were just super. Yeah, he was getting really frustrated.
Yeah,
and so the cameras are rolling, and you're in the driver's seat. And what are you meant to do?
I'm meant to tell my friend to stop texting. Or whatever.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Something to do with that.
And there was a child actor in the back.
And then I'm supposed to like look at them like I protected you kind of thing. Like you know, like kind of a gentle like that'll, you know.
Watching you even trying to do it now is funny.
Well, that was one of the major problems is I was not able to act happy enough to have a kid. Like, do you know, like I wasn't able to show that affection like through my face. Like I couldn't do the smile.
Right.
Like, and that just drew out how long it took.
Because you couldn't smile or show the emotion.
I couldn't show any emotion. So I didn't have the emotional range to play the character that I was playing.
And the friend who we know is another comedian and actor, and he did his part and everyone applauded as he rapped. Because they shot him first.
Clapped.
People loved it.
Stayed
well done.
With me.
High five.
And then after I was finished, they just evacuated.
There was no chit chat.
It's like someone released like a contagion and
right. They clearly weren't. So you had to sit and you had to look into the review and look at the child actor
and just be like,
show emotion.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
How many takes did they do?
It kept going for hours. People were getting upset.
Really?
Like, there was just like
what were they saying?
Like they were just going like, "Oh, like we're gonna get it." Like, oh,
wow, that's
but then
so
they
funny.
didn't pay me for ages.
Right.
But they paid him immediately.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yep. And so, what about the kid actor in the back? What was he doing?
Oh, she was just
girl.
She was supposed to be dancing or whatever to the music.
Right.
They play music to make them happy.
Right. You mean on set, or you mean?
I think so. Yeah.
In the ad. Oh, okay.
I don't think
because of the kids.
I don't think it shows up in the ad.
Okay.
Like to make them like in a good mood or whatever.
Upbeat for the ad.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you finish.
But the music had no effect on me, you know.
That's awesome. And then the ad got released. It's one of my favorite because I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Yeah.
Is it still floating around? Or?
I don't know. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But I think the last time we talked about it, maybe it was.
Yeah, we talked about it. How many years ago do you reckon that was? 3?
A while ago? Yeah.
3 or 4? Well, it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
That we talked about this story.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they reached out to us and asked us to pull the episode down.
Yeah, but they hadn't paid me yet.
So we didn't pull it down.
Well, because it was like way after it had happened. And he'd been paid like 8 months before.
Yeah, wow.
You know when they just don't pay you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's like,
It's a bit of a thing in our industry.
yeah, they're like, you want to get paid? It's like, yeah, it's like, what's happening? It's a multinational. You know what I mean? It's a huge corporate. We can't get the
funds to you.
Yeah. We're having a bit of funding problems.
Conveniently.
Yeah.
Because of the episode you think we released.
No, I
Played
think
into
that
it?
no,
They
no,
just didn't like you.
I got paid the day that we released it, I think.
Right.
Because sometimes God looks after you, you know?
Because
the timing.
the timing's perfect because
Yeah.
you got paid finally before they heard us tell the story on the podcast they wanted us to take down.
Yeah, totally.
So they couldn't take the money back.
Yeah, totally.
Wow.
There must be some French word for that, when you get the money.
French always have a word.
The French should have a word for when you accidentally get on an express train and it goes past your station.
Right.
You know that feeling where you're like,
yeah, you're like,
I
gotta go back.
Like, don't you reckon, like, some, like, le spirit, like, the feeling of, like, fuck, I could just, if only there was a trapdoor, I could just fall through and get off here.
That's a very unique feeling that probably hasn't constituted a word yet.
Yeah. That's probably the problem.
Yeah. Not every feeling
You end up
deserves.
in Newcastle. Because it just won't stop for hours.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Oh, there's no worse feeling than when you're like, oh, shit. I have to do this all in reverse now. I have to go back.
It's double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, thank you for that story. That's one of my favorite stories ever. Because just the visual imagery of that is so great.
They also gave me the cash that they were going to put me up in the hotel for.
Right.
And then I took out my friends for a huge Chinese meal that night.
Right.
And I remember I was in the best mood.
But you hadn't shot the thing yet.
No, it had been shot.
Right. So you were just happy for it to be done.
I was like, I'm getting money. Like, I got money.
Yeah. Got everyone a succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah. And that night was like just so fun.
The relief?
Well, just having the cash from the hotel that, like, I never had that much cash.
And you just didn't use the hotel, or?
No.
Right.
I'd rather cash out.
Nice.
I think it'd be good if you can you just want to cash, like, there's like amenities that you don't use. When like there's that free alcohol at a thing. Be like, I don't drink or whatever. You feel like you should be able to monetize the unused amenities.
Yeah.
Or like a promoter has like a room that you stay in.
But you don't use it.
You don't use it. You should be able to like rent it out to a backpacker.
Right. That's the real gig economy.
Or whatever. Do you know what I'm like? You know, because you're not using the room.
But you've been given it.
Or you get like a meal voucher, but you're like, you don't want to eat.
It seems like a waste, doesn't it?
Yeah, like if there was a way, like an app that could monetize like beer tokens that you're not going to use.
Yeah, that's real late stage capitalism. That where it's like, I got a voucher for a free beer at the comedy club. I don't want it. It's now on sale, and someone nearby goes, "I'll take it," and they're in the bar and they take your free voucher and use it. And somehow you get money for that, but it's less than the beer.
The bartender's like, "Are you performing?" And they're like, "No." I bought his token off Airtasker.
Yeah.
It's the same. You stay at the promoter's place. They have a room for you, but you're like, no, I'll just stay at my friend's for free and then rent out the room that you've got for me to a backpacker from Rio de Janeiro.
Hey, what's up?
So you just send the backpacker into the promoter's place?
He's like, I'm Julio, I'm here to stay. You said that it's okay.
For like a week?
It's like, yeah, I mean, like, I was meant for the comedian, but, But and you're profiting off it.
So he's giving you $100 to not stay there. And you're like, man, I'm just trying to monetize the unused amenities.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not rude.
Well, that's what I did with the hotel room. I cashed out.
Yeah.
You got bought a succulent Chinese meal. I used the amenity.
I don't understand why this is damaging our friendship.
Yeah.
Just because I'm renting out the room that you kindly gave to me for free to someone else called Julio.
Is this putting a strain on the friendship?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I know your wife and kids don't like visitors, but Julio's got a great rating.
I know he joined a conga line with a store mannequin and it was upsetting, but
with a storm what?
Like a store mannequin, like a David Jones mannequin, like he just, I don't know.
A store mannequin.
Is that what they're called? Shop.
Why? Is that something you've seen before?
No, I've never seen that.
Yeah, that's a crazy image.
But if Julio just came back with the conga line into the promote, Do you know what I mean? They're trying to sleep. They're watching Netflix. He's like, hey.
Right, because you've hired out your room that he was going to give to you for free.
Yeah,
you were doing his comedy show, but you've managed to monetize it to a Brazilian backpacker named Julio, and he comes in with a conga line.
From the backpackers.
From the backpackers.
So he's like, man, I've got a room.
Yeah, we got to go back there, man.
We're going back, man. It's on the Gold Coast. They come in, and they're just conga lines. Like, man, not like this.
Fucking Rathy.
But then you're like, hey, man, I hypothetically could have had a conga line when I was there.
Right.
Like as a guest.
You could have done that if you were using the space.
And then all the beer tokens and like meal vouchers, you just sell them on Airtasker to other people. Yeah. So they're just coming in and using them.
You're just making all this money off the kindness.
Like your side hustle is monetizing unused amenities.
I love that.
But it's like you got to make...
It's like if you went to an office party, you know, and they have the canapes, whatever they're called, the trays of, you know, biscuits and cheese, glasses of wine. Somebody could pay you to eat them and then leave.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So you don't want to eat the canapes, so you bring in a stand-in to eat the canapes?
And he's paying you through an app.
Yeah.
And you're just standing at the office party, not engaging in the wine or cheese, but then Ruggiero is like walking around going, ba-da, because he's like trying to save cash because he's a backpacker or whatever, and he's on whatever this is called, Uber amenities.
Oh, so you're at the Ernst & Young Christmas party.
Right.
And there's a guy with a backpack.
Yeah.
Just filling it up with wine and cheese. Like
having the best time. Ba-da.
Man, this is so nice. Like, just rosé. They're talking about restructuring corporate stuff. Yeah. He's like, man, I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be alive.
God, who invited this guy? Does this guy work for us? What is this?
So you're just standing there. Oh, he's with me. He's eating my portion.
Yeah, I'm not eating or drinking the wine. He's here to do that for me, so I'm assigning my portion to him.
He's eating the allocation.
I'm on Uber amenities.
Of my Johannesburg cheese slice. Is going into a guy from Johannesburg's mouth.
It's not wasting.
It's like how Woolworths has this thing where kids eat fruit for free.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, what if your friend's got like the mental age of a 6-year-old?
Does he get to eat for free?
Yeah.
Can I put his helmet on and let him get, have a few bananas near the avocado section?
Can I feed him his portion of bananas? Or what if you're sterile, like you should be able to get the fruit your kids would have had?
Right.
So you're just walking out with mangoes going, he would have liked these. I'm genetically predisposed to mangoes, so he would have loved these. I'm just getting his portion. It's been a while.
His portion. If I'd had a kid, he would have had a child portion free fruit.
So you get caught shoplifting blueberries that you're like, these are for Johnny.
That's
what I would have named him. He likes blueberries in season when they're $12 a punnet.
Just imaginary friends and imaginary kids and stuff. Getting free stuff for them.
Make a bong out of an apple and call it your firstborn, just smoking it.
You know what else you could do is it'd be great if you could store the canapes and wine somehow to have later.
Yeah.
And take them away as well.
That's a great
takeaway. They're like, what are you doing? Why have you got this weird cardboard container?
Yeah.
And you put in like my free... It'd be crazy to do it at a friend's birthday. Just be like, oh man, I'm just going to take my steak home for later. It's like, dude, I'm paying for everyone's dinner because it's my 40th. You know what I mean?
So you like get Tupperware.
Yeah.
And just put this...
You put in like this big meal you're having with friends. Yeah.
You're like, hey man, I'm just doing meal prep for the week.
Yeah.
So I just take my portion now because I'll have it tomorrow at home while I'm watching Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it's about the vibe. Like you're pouring the Shiraz into like a jar.
Into like a weird like canopy thing you screw up. Yeah.
Like you're measuring it out. You're like, so I've 1/8 of the bottle.
Yeah.
Like a fair world.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, this would be what I would drink, but I'm going to drink it at home.
Yeah, you'd really alienate yourself from a lot of people, I reckon.
I reckon the amenities app and that app, like where you store food, app, where you store friends' food. Why not eat it later? That's the ultimate late stage.
That's the next level, eh?
Yeah.
Like you're a friend's place and you don't want your allocation of birthday cake that you're allocated by being at the birthday? Take it into this Tupperware. It's takeaway. Take away on your friend's generosity.
Yeah, I like it.
Have it later. But it makes sense in a weird, warped, fucked way.
It does,
To be like, if there's pizza being
why
put
waste
out,
it?
yeah,
It's probably going to go to waste anyway. I'm going to take my portion home and eat it later when I feel like I can enjoy it more.
yeah.
And still be social.
You would have missed out on a lot of opportunities to eat and drink stuff, right? Because of how you were feeling. Like where there was like Guzman and Gomez or something.
Yeah, I think so.
You just weren't in a position to eat it, but you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'd like it.
I mean, there's plenty of wine I've been offered. I'm like, I don't really feel like a wine. You know, I would love to have stored that up.
I
Just
feel
had
like
it in a
you've
jar in the
turned down
fridge.
amenities. Yeah.
I've turned down amenities. Yeah.
Some people can't turn them down. Like I've seen
get
people, you get a free burger, they can't turn it down.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
But then the burger becomes the whole thing.
Becomes the event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, where's the burger? Like, can I track the location of the burger?
Yeah, because I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Let's continue this chat another time. Look, thanks for that, Rathy. We got a bit sidetracked there. Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be back. Check out the Patreon. Contribute to the Patreon. Hopefully more people get on there and chat. There's some shirts available. We're in Edinburgh. Come see our shows. Be good out there. Thanks for listening, bloody. Thanks, Rathy. See you next time. Peace.